We already talked about the CM Punk versus Shield handicap match, and the other handicap match for this evening was the Wyatt family against Daniel Bryan. And as much as I thought that Punk was going to win the other one, I thought equally Daniel Bryan had no chance of winning this. And I'll give them credit that they did a couple things that I thought that they weren't going to do in this match. They did make Bryan look pretty decent, but they kept the other people looking solid as well. I think this was a lot more balanced than the Punk and Shield one. And it kind of made sense a little bit too, because despite how all three members of the Wyatt family are significantly bigger than Daniel Bryan, you have to suspend that disbelief quite a bit when you go, okay, well, why is this guy taking all of the brunt force from these guys and still being able to fight them? As much as that is the case, Daniel Bryan is significantly higher up than people like Harper and Rowan. Even Bray Wyatt as well, but Bray Wyatt, of course, is the guy who outclasses Harper and Rowan as well. So if you're going to have one of these two handicap matches where one guy is able to take 2 to 3 guys and, actually put up a fight against them, this one makes a little bit more sense in the fact that they're nowhere near as credible. But very glad to see the Wyatt family actually win the match, because if they would have lost, that would have been ridiculous. And very, very glad to see that Bray Wyatt not only doesn't have some kind of an injury that's holding him back and making him worse, but that he actually improved from the match that he had with Kane. I think that this was the best showing that we've ever seen of Bray Wyatt. And he was probably the star of the match if Daniel Bryan wasn't. So I didn't think this was too bad. Fun part with the creepy backwards crab walk thing that Bray Wyatt does. So, thumbs up in my book. Peyton?
Yeah, what a strange and odd turn of events when the Wyatt family has the better match over the Shield, huh?
I'd say the Shield one was entertaining. It may be a little bit more entertaining overall, but I thought that this, in the sense of meeting expectations, this exceeded my expectations. So, kudos to them.
Well, I'm going to disagree and say in every thinkable way, including what you're saying. I mean, I definitely had better expectations of the Shield match, but that one disappointed me so much, and this one surprised me so much with how good it actually was. I'm not going to say it was phenomenal, but very watchable, as opposed to most matches where you have Harper and Rowan in there against anybody, where anytime they're making offense, which unlike the Shield matchup, the Wyatts actually had an offense going for the majority of this matchup. Usually their offense is very boring. It was better tonight, and Bray Wyatt showed the most dramatic improvement. I don't even think we were originally going to see him wrestle that night, and they did a very good job of being like, oh, okay, we're going to bring Bray in now. He's going to get up out of his chair and walk into the ring and do his thing. Yeah, as far as where this goes now, I have no freaking clue. People want Daniel Bryan to jump back into the title picture, but it seems like they're still teasing things between those two. We didn't see any physical contact between them on Monday night on Raw, but we did see Bray Wyatt talking to an empty chair, whatever that means. So he's got to be so damn cryptic.
He's talking to that person that Clint Eastwood was talking to.
Yeah, so I guess that's the best I can say for this. If I had to say there was something negative about it, Erick Rowan as usual. God damn it, pull that wedgie out of your pants.
Sean?
This was my match of the night, to be fair. But that's because I'm a Daniel Bryan fan. But yeah, I'm glad the Wyatts actually surprised me, considering I'm not a huge fan of the Wyatts and they just bore me. But yeah, fucking Bray Wyatt was, I think, outclassed Daniel Bryan in this match, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And if I had to pay for this pay-per-view, I'd be glad to pay for that one match. It was a lot better than the Shield.
Sean, you remind me, did anyone else catch when Mick Foley was talking about it after the match was done and he called him Way Bryant?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Way Bryant, really?
Yeah. And he did it while he had that haggard-ass gray beard and the Santa hat on. It was just like, oh, Mick. Oh, you've taken way too many chair shots to the head, have you?
Jester, what did you think about this match?
I really liked it. I'm a really big fan of the Wyatt family. The little upside down spider crawl thing that Bray Wyatt does is like so cool. Like everything about him, his promos in general, his two big lackeys are just like they just fit the role perfectly. Everything about the Wyatt family is interesting, week to week basis. Just really big fan. Bryan did such a good job in telling the story in that match the whole time. Really impressive work. Bryan's always good. Never disappointed with him. Match was, for a handicap match, one of the best handicap matches I've ever seen. Can't think of one that's better. Really good stuff.
Graham?
I thought it was a great matchup as well. In terms of in-ring psychology and simple storytelling, I thought this was a better matchup. From an in-ring standpoint, I thought the Shield Punk matchup was better. But even still, Bryan looked strong in defeat here after Punk went over in the first handicap matchup. They needed to have Bryan lose here, especially given the fact that the Wyatt family lost so many matches going into this pay-per-view. They needed this win over the former WWE champion. So I thought it was a great way to get the Wyatt family over, give them a big win. A very solid matchup. It appears that the feud has ended here, unless they continue it after Bryan's done with the WWE title picture. I'm not exactly sure. But even still, a very good matchup from the Wyatt family and Daniel Bryan, and I'm looking forward to what happens with the Wyatt family going forward.
Last thing we're going to talk about this evening is going to be the title unification match coming up in the next part.